I think 400 yards is totally doable. But look at what we got going for us. Number one, we are not getting shot at. We've had all kinds of time to set up the shot. I'm shooting off a field pod. That's a Caldwell field pod, reviewed. I love it. Link in the bottom. If you don't have one, you should. We came out on motorcycles today. I'm shooting a quality ammunition. This is Hornady SST 123 grain, polymer tipped. There's my ballistic data. And again, we got time to do this shot. So those are all in our favor. Yeah. We're experienced shooters, we're good shooters, we know the gun, know the scope. The one thing I'll say is I've removed the scope, put it back on, and haven't shot it since, so there could be a question about the return to 0 on it. And I'm not gonna waste time shooting at 100. So if we're way off, maybe it's that. Also, this is a stamped receiver AK and there is flex. I mean, this mount can flex back and forth. Other than that, though, should be easy breezy, right? Definitely breezy. Yeah. All right, so let's load up. This will be raw and real. You can watch my ammo video filmed last winter out of an SGL21 talking about the performance, the accuracy, the velocity, extreme spread, standard dev of multiple loads. This was one of them. I'm not going to say the SGL21 is the most accurate AK we fired. It isn't. I've got a AK-47 here too I might use, but it doesn't have as good a scope on it. So I've got 13.8 come-ups for our conditions. It's about 65 degrees. 15-mile-an-hour crosswind, which will make it a little bit tough. Should we try to give them scope cam footage too?
I've got it set.
Okay, so we're trying to give you scope cam stuff too.
This isn't a high dollar setup.
It's really hard though when it's windy because it rocks it back and forth.
Yeah. No provisions for stabilization, so it is what it is.
Okay.
And if I touch it,
if I use it, it's entirely up. If I don't use it, it's not working. Either way, we're not going to bullshit you guys like some of the stuff on the internet. It's, geez, I can't believe some stuff I've seen. We will show our shots. We'll show the misses. Creating calm, firing. Holy freak, that was way off. Dude, this is so far off right now. That return to 0 didn't even work at all. I'm like 30 feet to the right.
Dude, at this range, tiny changes do a lot.
Dude, I don't have a 100-yard provision either. And I know I zeroed it for this load. That's a hit. Hit again, and then it's dropping. Dude, I'm aiming like 30 feet to the left and down. This is totally dicked. We're gonna have to get a 100-yard 0 for this to be a valid video. All right, so let's load up. We were shooting that out of another AK, but we're low on rounds, so we got to go with the Wolf hollow point. So this is a TMP KTM 1190. We're at 450 yards. What do you think, Doodle? Is this an easy shot?
Not so much.
The round is totally capable, but I got about a 10 mile an hour direct value, full cross value, crosswind. Low right. So I'm going to aim a little bit high left on the plate. A little bit wiggly, even off the seat. The gun is an SGL21. With this load, the consistency is okay. I wouldn't say it's great. I've shot more accurate AKs than this. The barrel's heated up. All these are good trigger presses. I mean, I feel like with an AR, I'd be hitting this every shot, to be totally honest with you guys. Hey, it's just because you don't like AKs. No, bullshit. Have you been watching the channel? How many videos do I have on AKs? I love the AK, but it has certain limitations. You might be seeing one of them right here. I'm coming close, but I'm not connecting every time. That was low right. I'm aiming off the plate too, to the left for the crosswind. What you're seeing here is the reality of this range shot. That's what I like showing in TMP, is reality. Now, we could start the camera late, you know, make sure the conditions are just right, make sure we don't have a crosswind, so we shoot with the wind. Like, we could set our target up over there, because then we wouldn't have a crosswind, right, Doodle?
Yep.
It'd be at our back. And then if I edited it a certain way, it would make me look like I'm hitting every shot. But we don't do that, we just show you what's actually happening. And it's a tough shot with an AK, 450 yards. At least off this motorcycle.
Off of real barricades and stands and stuff, you're working to get that accuracy.
This is actually a pretty good rest.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky to have a rest this good in combat. Plus, we're not getting shot at. That would make it even tougher to do this shot. Dang, it keeps dropping low right. Well, this is the reality. They're all within man size. Ouch.
You are close.
So we didn't do great at 450 yards off the motorcycle. In the ballistic program, I'm going to show you the chart out to 700 yards. And this is actually for the Hornady 762-39 SST 123 grain load. Notice the drops. So at 300 yards, you're -8 MOA, totally doable. 450, 17.1, 600, you're almost at 30 MOA drop. 700, a remarkable minus 39.2 drop. That's with 2270 feet per second is what I measured this low to be at our elevation. The temperature on that, by the way, is not indicative of what it is today. So what really got us thinking about doing this, just kind of just raw video, shooting, see how it works, are some comments that I saw in the RAS-47 video. Doodle, what did they say?
In the video, you said for your average use of the RAS-47, max range, dependably, is about 300 yards. And a lot of guys didn't really understand that it's kind of a minute of engagement in a way. That's the max range that I at least could depend on just picking up a RAS-47 and engaging something at that distance. They thought you meant absolute limit.
All the drills we've done out here over the years. So what do we have? 10 years doing TMP. We've done a lot of drills, sledgehammer drills. Think about it. So we've had our shooters shoot at 200 yards out to 300 yards, and they are hitting, after doing just a little bit of running, maybe a lot of running, depending on the drill, about 10% of the time. Think about that, 10% of the time. They're not getting shot at. Slight stress, not much. We used to yell at them at the beginning, but now we don't yell at them at all because it's just obnoxious to hear in the camera. 10 to 20% are hitting. Soldier Boy drill, it's not any better. We've taken guys out here in Soldier Boy and they're not hitting at all until we get their zero squared away, get their marksmanship fundamentals squared away. So I'll stick with that. Another thing you want to think about, you saw the chart. I mean, the ballistic performance, in my opinion, that's all it is, of the 7.6239, well past 300 yards, 300 meters. I have no argument with that. I don't think it's ideal compared to a lot of the competition, but it can do it. The problem is accuracy. Go watch my AK ammo video again and look under ideal in-field conditions, not at a range. I mean, the groups were coming in at like this, at 100 with this load right here. So I'm switching over to Golden Tiger. This was one of the worst. It was all over the place. Out of an SGL21, this very gun actually. It's a good load, but you know, the SGL, again, it's not the most accurate AK, but it's representative. It's got kind of a thin barrel, forged barrel. Quality, absolutely, but it's not free-floated. It's really not meant for minute of angle accuracy. Are there AK builds out there that are more accurate? Definitely. But then we get into SAWC conversations, and it can go on and on. What we want to demonstrate here is the reality of the difficulty of making a shot. I've got a freaking good rest right here. A motorcycle, are you going to have that? Doubtful. You're probably going to be breathing heavy if you had to shoot for self-defense. I think you'd be super lucky, actually, to make a 300-yard shot. I'll stick with that. No apologies whatsoever. Just from the years out here in TMP of just doing the drills, with a wide variety of skill sets and shooters. We've had shooters come off tactical clinics, bragging really hard. Remember that, Doodle?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I just came from this tactical course, you know, I'm ready to go, and they can't hit nothing out here. If you don't believe me, go watch the sledgehammer drills. Go watch the Soldier Boy drills. That's all that is just proving the difficulty of the shot. Now this is not zeroed for this load, and I'm probably going to miss more. Excuse alert. There's the hit finally. Think about it too, if I'm shooting a 4-inch circle at 100 yards, at 450 yards, that's the rounds will go into what, 18 inches?
Yeah.
Right, if we were to extrapolate?
Yeah.
That's a big circle. And that's if you're doing everything right as a shooter. Man, that's a nice trigger. It's an ALG defense trigger on this. Now notice I'm making a lot more hits. What's the difference? Wind. When I shot that first magazine, I had that full value crosswind blowing left to right. I was struggling. You know, that's the reality. It's really, really tough. Now the wind's died off. I'm able to throw the shots a lot more consistently, so I'm making a lot more hits. That was a hit. I cannot stress enough how difficult it is to stay on target and get a good trigger press. I got a good scope, yes, but this is a stamped receiver AK. There can be some wobble in the mount, I've learned over the years. And I do have this going on, so I'm not completely locked down. My up and down is very secure with the seat, not so much the side to side. If I use that field pod we have behind me, that would be a lot better rest, actually.
And that's engaging one target.
That's not moving.
Yeah.
Or shooting back.
An unmoving stationary target you can walk onto.
And my heart rate isn't up right now. That's it. So that magazine went a lot better, but I'm gonna stick to it. I mean, you get some wind, you get some stress, you get more variability in the ammunition. I still think of an AK as a 300-yard gun.
I think for most people it is.
Hey, if you feel differently, and I'm not gonna say there aren't super skilled dudes out there, but if you subscribe to the channel and you're a guy that thinks, you know, I can hit at 700 yards with your AK, write into the post office box. Give us your name. If you're willing to fly out here, bring your gun, your setup. We'll set up a 700-yard target for you.
Yeah, it's doable.
Can show us.
You got to do your homework. You got to make sure your gun's dialed in. Well, and then you got to be twisting some knobs.
If someone thinks that, I'm going to just assume everything's dialed in.
Yeah.
Guys who comment on the videos and they're saying, hey, this or that, I'm just going to assume that your shit's squared away. Come out and prove it.
I don't have a single friend with squared away optics.
We've never seen it out here.
Every single time it's like, oh crap.
That's the cool thing about Soldier Boys. It's a no-notice tap on your door, hey, let's go, and then everybody's system is dicked. The zero's out, they don't have the right ammunition, the gun's not reliable.
Yeah.
That's reality. I mean, that's the fog of war for sure.
It's mixing the practical performance with theoretical. You see it with bikes too. Oh dude, this thing's good for 2.60 to 60. Really?
Yeah,
right,
can you get that 2.6?
Yeah, because
I can't.
It's perfect. That's with perfect temp,
C-level,
tires.
expert driver.
Yeah, that's the
level
best
road,
of all these
not
runs.
Driving up on a hill.
Yeah, so it could be capable of it, but maybe not right now. Maybe not as set up.
Yeah, so we made some hits here once the wind died down. 450 yards, totally doable. We could stretch the distance even further and get on steel. If we were real tricky how we wanted to edit, we can make it look like we're hitting every round.
Yeah.
Be careful what you watch. We don't do that, we just show you the way it is because it's artificial and it's just fake. I hate that, and it really kind of undermines the whole philosophy of use discussion I have in my reviews. You know, because if you want to talk video game fantasy stuff, that's a different way to do a review. You want to talk about reality, welcome to TMP. That's what I show. So, great gun. I love the SGL. It was a good test bed for today. I made some hits at the end, but it's not easy. You know, do it standing up at this range. So can you imagine that? Just right now, just standing up. 450 yards. I could come within probably a man's width of a body doing it, but hitting that steel plate's gonna be rough.
It's a long ways.
Hey, if you think you can stand up at 450 yards with an AK, right into the P.O. box. Love to have you out.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
I know somewhere there's some
We'll have
prodigy.
you do it. We'll do Soldier Boy with you and you can show us how it's done. Anybody. But we're gonna put it on camera and we will show it. And we don't want excuses like, oh yeah, my optic's off and you know, I didn't know this, that. It's like everything. I mean, when the rubber hits the road, out come the excuses.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I can't do it, but I know somebody else
It's the air
who can.
filter, it's a set of tires, you know, I gotta take the
Tons of
baffles out.
excuses.
It's a real world problem.
Either you do it or you don't. If you don't, it's a fail.
Yeah. So from now on, I don't want to hear any more. Anytime we have an AK show up, I don't want to hear, oh, well, technically, I mean, you can depend on it to 1,000 yards. That's its limit.
They don't say 1,000.
Theoretical. I've seen it a couple times.
Well, like I said, I mean, we'll call you out if you think it can be done. You come out to TMP and we'll set the course up for you. You show us how it's done, and the whole world will see you shooting.
Sweet.
Do this one off a motorcycle, 450.
This is pretty nice.
Iron sights. Do it with
Freaking-
iron sights, because everyone talks about how easy iron sights are to use.
This is nice to shoot on, though, compared to most of the cover.
Beats a lot of it, for sure.
Yeah.
Look at all the freaking dirt we get into everything. That's it, TMP. 450 yards off a motorcycle, hitting some. See ya.